Kenya on Tuesday unveiled the candidature of former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, for chairperson of the Africa Union Commission at a colorful ceremony graced by several East African Community EAC heads of state. President William Ruto led the launch at State House in Nairobi, where he hosted East African Community EAC Chairman Salva Kiir, who is also the President of South Sudan, President Samia Suluhu of Tanzania, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni of Uganda were in attendance. Take a look on how East African presidents are willing to support Raila Odinga's AUC candidature.
As a country, as we present the Honorable Raila Odinga to be our candidate, it is because Africa, our motherland, deserves the best.
And after that,
President William Ruto has officially launched Odinga's bid for AU's top job. Odinga is a front runner, and if he succeeds, it will just be the latest in a career of a politician who has risen to the position of Prime Minister of Kenya and AU Special Envoy on Infrastructure Development.
We believe that offering a highly qualified, experienced and competent candidate to lead the Africa Union Commission is perfectly consistent with our commitment to the transformation of our continent through our institution of Pan-African unity.
My selection to be Kenya's candidate is not about one man's ambition, but an African's journey to serve the motherland.
He is the son of Kenya's first Vice President Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, a freedom fighter who championed for Pan-Africanism. His political career began in 1992 after the return of multi-party democracy in Kenya, a course his father and others fought hard to achieve. In 2008, he became Kenya's Prime Minister after the formation of a grand coalition government following the 2007-2008 post-election violence. Odinga has unsuccessfully contested for the presidency 5 times, and to ensure that he emerges victorious in Addis Ababa in February next year, Kenya has been knocking on the doors of her neighbors in East Africa. At the prevailing of his candidature, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan, and Tanzania were present. They all pledged their support.
Personally, I know Baba Odinga, my kaka, not only as a wise statesman, but also as one who can make a strong case in advancing Africa's development priorities.
So we are now looking for a pointsman, the one to lead us in that big battle of prosperity.
As a chairman of the East Africa community, I strongly appeal to the region to rally behind Right Honorable Odinga and adopt him as the region's candidate.
Witnessed by His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto. I'll count you down, Your Excellency.
Indeed, Odinga's win will be historious for the region. It will be the first time a person from East Africa will be occupying the seat. The former premier says he is fit for the profile.
I'm ready to serve. My heart is ready, and my hands are steady, and with your support, I shall get the opportunity to be of service to Africa.
So, why does Odinga think he is the right candidate? First, he says he knows what else Africa.
I have traveled the length and breadth of this beautiful continent, and I have seen the faces of Africa's future. I was involved in peace negotiations in Burundi with Mwalimu Nyerere. I was involved as the mediator of the AU with the conflict in Côte d'Ivoire. I was involved in Mozambique. So I understand the continent.
President Ruto said you will be making Africa proud and powerful. You are right, Mr. President. You will do more than that. You will make Africa proud. You will make Africa powerful. You will make Africa peaceful. And you will make Africa prosperous.
The former Nigerian president is Odinga's longtime friend. Perhaps the two have delved deeper into the game plan the former Langata Member of Parliament has for the continent. Odinga says Africa has what it takes to be wealthy. Both natural and human resources are in abundance and have to spur economic development. But to achieve that, both Odinga and Obasanjo agree that certain glaring obstacles must be removed. They say Africa must be united and language and regional blocks must be done away with. Then the continent can speak bargaining and push for the Africa agenda on the global platform as one.
Africa today suffers from twin disasters: droughts and floods, the continent. Yet Africa has emitted very little of the carbon that is polluting the world. So Africa needs to be compensated. But this will not come if Africa goes to negotiate as individual countries. If we go and talk as Kenya, as Uganda, Tanzania, Nigeria, Mozambique, Egypt, or Algeria, the rest, those major offenders will not listen to us.
He says, with a united continent, African countries can trade amongst themselves, capitalizing on its huge market. The continent has over 1.3 million people.
Today, traveling across the continent is too expensive. You have to get permits to fly over countries, delaying movements, and make it too expensive. Flying over Europe is much easier than flying over Africa. We need to have a continental air control system within the continent so that people can travel from east to west, north to south without a problem.
He embodies extensive experience and a deep understanding of both African affairs and global dynamics, which are crucial for leading the African Union further into the center of global affairs and closer to the hearts of the African people.
But to achieve continental trade, Odinga wants to see the development of linking infrastructure. He talks about the Cape Cairo Highway, Cape Tunis Highway, the Lapset project, among others. Uganda's Yoweri Museveni says issues affecting the continent can only be handled by a person with Africa at heart, a Pan-Africanist. According to him, what a better person than the son of Jaramogi.
Before he came, there was a young man from Djibouti. He came. The young man I normally see him that he's a minister. He came and told me that he was the one who was the candidate for Djibouti. Of course, I greeted him well. We took photographs. We had a cup of tea. But I told him, I said, no. I actually told him that I was coming here to support Right Honorable Raila because he's a candidate who is fit for this job.
Like many speakers present, Museveni is adamant that key to Africa's development is the realization of peace and security.
They talked of silencing the guns. But in 2024, the guns are not silent on the continent. We will work to ensure that guns are silent so that we can be able to have a peaceful development.
Indeed, Raila Amolo Odinga already has his job well cut out. That is if he gets elected next year. For Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, I'm Mesh Msimbi.